What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to my boss fight guide for Dark Souls 3. In this guide we're going to be tackling the Soul of Cinder, the last boss in the main game for Dark Souls 3. And for those of you that have been with me the entire time this far, I want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play, fumble around a little bit, and hopefully help you guys out in the process. So as you can see, the Soul of Cinder is sitting back there. He's got a big old sword and he's just begging for an ass whooping. But before we give him what he wants, we're going to talk about summons. So there are two. There is Yuria, who is only available if you've done the quest line for her and to get that ending. So she'll appear right here. And there's also Londor Pale Shade, who appears all the way down here. If you are allied with Yuria, you can also get them. Now, we could summon them both. We could. In my opinion, especially for a new game plus and beyond, which this game is, I would say that it's probably not worth it to bring more than one, just because for every summon you bring, please remember that the boss's health is going to increase. So, before we summon Yuria in, who we're going to choose, let's talk about strategy real quick. So, as you can see, I've got the Onyx Blade in my hand. Now, the Soul of Cinder is actually weak to both lightning and dark damage. Now, if you guys watch my Lorian and Lothric fight, which I'll link to down below so you guys can check it out if you're struggling with him, I used the Dragon Slayer Great Axe. Now, that's an excellent weapon, probably my most highest damaging weapon. I think I had about a 780 one-handing, and I have about a 624. If I buff this up, which I will be doing for the fight, I can get a one-handed of 769. So, pretty dang even. I prefer faster attacking weapons, and that is because when we use the strategy that I employ here, which I believe is the most repeatable, we can swing, guard quick. With the axe, the swings are slower, and we can't react as fast. So in my opinion, I really think that a faster swing weapon will do you better most of the time, especially if you're doing this solo and you don't have these options available to you. So, as for the boss, his first phase, he goes through 4 phase changes, if you will. He's a sorcerer, and he goes through different melee phases. The only thing of note, really, is that you can actually use Vow of Silence to shut him up in his sorcerer phase, which honestly can get pretty dang annoying, especially if you don't have another summon there to help draw aggro away. So, finally, as for spells and miracles, I'm going to use what I always use, Sacred Oath and Great Magic Shield. And I know I've been talking about rings. I've got these rings for miracles on. I promise you guys I am going to use a Sunlight Spear in this game. Just to show you guys that yes, I do use it sometimes, and it is effective on this particular boss because he is weak to lightning. For these 2 rings, Dark Clutch and Chloranthy Ring +3, you can use whatever rings you want. Chloranthy Ring +1, or just the standard version, is actually just fine. Just as long as you can get as much stamina as possible, you're going to be okay. Alright, with that being said, let's just get in there, show you guys the phase 1 attacks, and then we'll go for phase 2 where he gets Gwen's moveset. Now, if you guys have seen my videos thus far, you'll notice these NPC like to run away when I try and buff them, so we're gonna get Yuria before she has a chance to move. Gotcha. So I can't actually use the weapon buff and the shield buff, so what I'm gonna actually choose since I have Yuria is I'm actually gonna choose damage. And remember, if I ever switch to miracles, I will lose that weapon buff as well. So you can see how I can switch back very quickly from my attacks, which I prefer. You can see I didn't take too much chip damage. Again, depending on the Great Shield you're using, it's going to depend on your resistances to fire. The Havels has about an 82, if I remember correctly. You can see how I was able to block just before he struck because the Onyx Blade swings so much faster than a larger weapon. I did not quite make it there. You can see he just went through a phase change. You can riposte on that, I think, but sometimes it's actually better to get damage in than it is just to go for one riposte. It just depends on the situation. Again, he can be very annoying in this magic phase, like I said. He just changed again. That took a fair amount of stamina. Just letting you guys kind of see all of his moves. I meant to block there. There we go. As you can see, his aggro is on me. There we go. I'm going to heal up while Yuri is taking some aggro. And I am actually going to rebuff up here with Sacred Oath. I don't really need Great Magic Shield. Oh, actually, as promised, guys. There you go. There's your Sunlight Spears, guys. Now, as you can see, the swings back there can end up hitting you, even if you're directly behind him. Something to keep in mind. Sometimes those will connect, sometimes they won't. Now this you're going to want to back away from. Yuria just said, I'll take it right to the face, that's fine. Now you can hear Gwen's music. You can see how it still hit me even though I'm directly behind him. And that took quite a bit of stamina, very surprising actually. Now if you don't have great shields, the attacks are fairly easy to roll through in this stage. I was a little early. I'd say that. There we go. Now, the healing windows can be shorter than you might expect in this phase. That's why I'm being very cautious here, especially on New Game. Plus, there's his grab attack. You cannot hurt him while he does that, unfortunately. Now, you can see that attack took a ton of stamina, and you can't actually block this. I was actually watching Yuri in that. Buff up here. Now this attack will come back down, and it will hurt. I don't know why Yuri didn't take that much damage, but I would have taken quite a bit more than that. Keep that in mind. So what you can do in this... Oh... You can time a nice charge heavy. I would just use this opportunity. Oh, I could not roll in time. But the good news is that should not. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. Yuria might even finish him off. There we go. So all in all, not too bad. He does get a little bit more dangerous in phase 2. But the summon, like I said, it's not too bad. Now, if you're alone, you do want to make sure you avoid that grab attack. And now we're at the ending. So I'm not going to take you guys through the ending. You guys can do that on your own time. I'll waste your time on that. But like I said in the beginning, thank you very much for tuning in with me. I am planning on doing the DLC bosses as well, because Freed is a dang nightmare and Madir is pretty tough as well. So stay tuned for that. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again for tuning in.